3 years after Superstorm Sandy in Oakwood Beach on Staten Island, the scars are still plain to see.
This used to be bungalow after bungalow, and most of them have been demolished after the buyout.
Joseph Tyrone used to own a home here. When the storm hit, water nearly 4 meters high washed ashore. Like many coastal areas, entire neighborhoods were destroyed.
Well, we're basically in a marsh.
But unlike other areas that chose to rebuild, Tyrone convinced residents here to retreat, getting the state to buy their homes and demolish them, abandoning Oakwood Beach.
Well, by returning it to nature, and you know, the concrete goes away, the homes go away, the water is allowed to be absorbed.
But in neighboring Manhattan, letting nature take over isn't an option.
2050 is our planning horizon.
Dan ZARRILLI leads the New York Mayor's Office of Recovery and Resiliency. He's got a 10-year, $20 billion plan that includes rebuilding coastal defenses.
And it's tailored investments across the city. It's not this one big silver bullet solution that we're going to wall ourselves off from the ocean.
One of the biggest undertakings would transform Lower Manhattan's vulnerable waterfront. Called the Big U, it would create a berm or hump. Disguised as a park, it would keep a storm surge at bay. But experts say there's another challenge. With climate change comes rising sea levels, another 2 meters expected by the year 2100.
As sea level rises, it needs less and less severe storms to reach the same height of flooding as Sandy reached.
Klaus Jacob preaches relocation and resettlement. He's even suggested allowing water into Lower Manhattan, turning some streets into canals. Far-flung ideas, he says, that lack political will or imagination.
You have to set aside a good fraction of $1 trillion. And that is right now in nobody's mental budget, nor of course in a real budget.
The start of construction on the first section of the Big U waterfront redevelopment is still at least 2 years away. So is New York ready for another Sandy?
We probably need still 1 or 2 more Sandys before the political decision makers and the elected officials really will listen to their own communities.
Back on Staten Island, the demolition continues, and the marsh creeps back. Joseph Tyrone says whatever climate change brings, at least here, they'll be as prepared as they can be, with nature providing the best defense. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, New York.